aeroplane. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. So why am I smiling? I don't know. I'm just feeling good. You're at home. Most of you are on the road or in the office, but you're at home. So a very warm welcome to you. And also feeling the same way, no doubt. We got Libra Sashoma, lawyer and public affairs analyst, and Honorable Segun Olulade, former member at Lagos State House of Assembly. Good morning, gentlemen, and happy holidays to you.
Yeah, happy holiday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And happy Eid al-Maulud to all Muslim brothers across the globe.
Thank you very, very much, Honorable, for doing that for us. Last week there was talk, a bit confusing, but there was talk that in the National Assembly, in the Senate in particular, they're investigating a rumor. Maybe I should even call it an alleged rumor. Rumor is one thing, now an alleged rumor. But long and short of the story is that jobs are being warehoused in the hands of particular honorable members, distinguished senators, I don't know, but parliamentarians. And the idea is that organizations allegedly make available, in fact, the word sell has been used in some instances, sell at up to 1.5 million naira each, job slots. That sort of, it beggars belief. And, well, Senator Danjuma La has said that he's going to get to the bottom of it. He says there is pressure, two kinds of pressure. On the one hand, hurry up and expose those senators who indeed are part of this. And the other one is, hurry up and let's see if there's any truth to all of this. But I was interested, I don't know if I was amused when I was reading one of the reports, quite a number of reports on it last week, and Senator Danjuma La, had said that he thinks the whole thing is very, very improper. It's alleged that one senator got 26 job slots, and he went to his senatorial district and was quite the man, handing out 26, jobs to 26 people. Know how that kind of a thing that word will get around, and he would be seen as the guy. I imagine that's the draw. Senator La said that even if such a thing were supposed to, if it happened at all, he would have expected every distinguished senator, every honorable member would have an allocation, not just go and put 26 in the hands of one person. So that's one particular line of argument. I don't know how that grabs you. But the other is it proper at all? Is it proper? But maybe when you pay attention to the fact that we have all sorts of lists in different admission processes. This is just admission into a job, into an employment. But take the case of universities. We've heard of this list, dean's list, vice chancellor's list, and all of that kind of a thing. So we'll come back with the gentleman in studio. We'll investigate. Luckily, we have a legislator. We'll find out how many jobs he, in his time, actually had to dispense and what he thinks of the whole concept. But after going a quick break, don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back. Okay then, so welcome back. Yori Folani still here. Libra Sashoma with me, and Honorable Segun Olulade. And so I set the scene just before we went on break. Honorable Olulade, jokes apart, is the situation that I described that had been reported on last week, is it alien to you, or does it exist in legislative houses?
Yeah, it does exist. I might be taking a very controversial position this morning, but I stand by my position. It has to do with everybody within the country, that we must now take our position very important, or our decision very important in terms of who and who is representing us at different arms of government.
Okay.
At the State House of Assembly, at the National Assembly, who are the people representing us? But because when we talk about the legislator, you made mention of something that is very, very important. And I must say this, civil servants are selling jobs, slots in Abuja. They are selling job slots to people at high as 1 million naira, 350, 500,000, 700,000 naira for job seekers.
Yeah, but the problem, Honorable, is that an
one
ordinary civil servant can't pull that off.
No, they do.
Ordinary civil servant?
Yes, and I'll tell you how they do it.
Okay.
They have a slot of 100 jobs
to
be given out.
We need to recruit 100 people.
100 people. And instead of them sharing it, and they need to, because of the federal character, they need to share it to each of the states.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if Ogun State or Lagos State Commissioner, that somebody who is representing the Lagos as the public service or civil service in Abuja, if he's not on ground when the thing is being shared, or they come and say, okay, this is your own, but we are giving you 2 million naira, and they collect it from him, that is the end. And that is why you discover that a lot of civil servants are not from a particular sector of people, states. You discover that there is a lot of conjunction from other parts of the country where you get to the federal civil service. You don't see people being taken from other states, especially from the south here.
Well, you did say, Honorable, that you didn't mind being a bit controversial this morning,
yes,
but that you wanted to stick to your guns, that you know what you're talking about.
I know. Because at the end of the day, it is better for representative if they now come out to say, okay, he's representative of the people from different parts of the country, are giving certain number of people to be employed. That is where equity comes in. That is when my people from Ekpe will be employed at the national level. That is when you can start seeing people from different states that could now become the permanent secretary in those ministries in future. But where those people cannot even come home to say, this is what we have been given to as slots for a particular state, and what they do is to sell it over there. A lot of agencies. It's not about just ministry. We are talking about agencies of government.
Agencies of government.
And when you look at it critically, those whom we have elected, because it's something that has happened to me as an individual. When I was in State House of Assembly here in Lagos, and my people in Ekpe, even if you employ teachers in Lagos, they don't want to go to Ekpe. If you employ medical personnel, they don't want to go to Ekpe because Ekpe is far. They don't want to go to Badagry. They don't want to go to those rural areas. So they want to stay in Lagos, they want to stay in Ikeja. And at the end of the day, people who they supposed to serve, you discover that for instance, me, I have to employ teachers throughout my stay as a member of Lagos State House of Assembly. Okay. That I paid throughout my stay.
For the Teaching Service Commission?
No, I employ them in schools.
Okay. Otherwise, those schools
otherwise
would not have had enough teachers.
Enough teachers.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you. Liberals, what do you think about this whole matter? Because one way of looking at it is that where is the equity? We keep on talking about what is the word now? Merit.
Yeah,
merit is thrown out.
As valid as Honorable's argument may sound, but and that's why you see people. There's a breach of trust now between the people and the leaders, and that's why every appointment of government is viewed from the prism of suspicion. That we don't think there's merit here because we know, and we always say the Nigerian thing. The way we do things. You remember recently in the NDDC, when the boards were appointed, there were a lot of hue and cry that even led to the Minister for States being seconded to another ministry. That people didn't mind, people refused to look at the merits of the board. The merits of the board that was appointed, including that of the chairman, the MD, Bernard Okumagba. Now what took over was sentiment. Where is he from? Is he, how can a robo-man come from here and then you still have the same minister from that same place? We push merit aside. It is because of issues like this. Because what you have is, look, let the slots be distributed among representatives. So merit take the back seat. So you graduate from a university, you are applying for a job at the Federal Civil Service,
for example,
or at the state civil service,
Any of the
or at the
agencies.
government agencies, the first thing is that, oh, there is quota. You have to
Yes.
scale the hurdle of quota. Some of us couldn't attend the federal universities because those universities are states of origin and not their catchment areas. And so all that, even though you met the cutoff mark, but your state cutoff is higher. And so somebody who scored far less than yours would gain admission while you stay at home. Now we have taken it to even employment that, oh yes, because you have representatives, because they are representing you, so the employment opportunities should be, the slot should be shared amongst them. And so where is the place of merit? So what you are telling people indirectly is that there's no need to read. Just know one honorable member. Know a senator.
I don't think
know
anybody.
somebody.
I don't think anybody is admitting it because they're talking about suspicion in the National Assembly. Suspicion,
It's
which means
suspicion.
that people are not able to come out and say, yes, now what is new? What is new?
The issue here is that when we want to, when we don't want to discuss issues frontally, we say allege. There's suspicion. The Danjumala,
Yes.
Honorable Senator Danjumala had come out to admit that yes, we're investigating it, but then it shouldn't be for just the same members alone.
you imagine?
It should be for everybody.
It should be for everybody.
He's not saying it should be for Nigerians that merit it.
But
it should be for us.
I also have a senatorial district that I want to
I
go back
want
to.
go back to and give.
Like the man who went back with 26 jobs in his hand.
Exactly.
Well, let me clear one issue here.
Sure.
The issue of merits is still very, very sacrosanct even with this issue.
Okay, even with this system.
Yes, with this system.
the
And I will
honorables
tell
are-
you how it is.
How does merit then come back in?
When
Yes,
you have to
they-
pay
no,
1.7
because there are
million.
criteria that you have to meet. There are qualifications they are demanding for.
Oh, it's
If
not
you don't
automatic.
meet-
It's
not
that
automatic.
Just because it came from this senator
No,
or
no,
this
no, 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 no,
honorable,
no.
you
No,
got
no,
it. You got a
no,
job.
No.
There's-
Once,
you-
it might
they
come
just get
from
you
that
in the door.
honorable. It
They-
might come from that honorable.
They just
but
get you
that
in the door.
honorable or that slot must fit in with the qualification that the criteria.
They don't work together.
Or the criteria the agencies or the civil service have laid down that if they are looking for instance, they are looking for a Yoruba teacher and you read French. How does that happen? And they say, okay, the Yoruba teacher, you must have 2-1 if you want to be employed. You must not be above this certain age. And it's not, the onus is now on that representative to go and look out for those who are
somebody
within,
who fits.
who fit in, who are within his constituency.
So let's drive it down a bit.
Okay.
If it is about merit, then you won't need, you say, okay, yes, since it's on merit, we have 10 slots for Lagos, 10 slots for Edo, 10 slots for Kano, and like that. And so you don't need to distribute it in the hands of honorable to get the best 10 from these states. The moment you distribute
Because
it,
that is politicizing it.
yeah, but the moment, apart from politicizing, the moment you give it, you distribute it in the hands of honorable members.
Or senators.
First, what also comes in will be favoritism.
Yes.
I need to take my person first, who is close to me, who is from my village.
Who is qualified.
Than that man who is from another village, even though in the same senatorial district. And that's why my late professor, D.O.I. would say, some of you ordinarily, if not for the fact that your parents begged your way through, you won't be in my class. A situation where, the bearer is from me. Please, he will cope.
But that's a very, very Nigerian thing.
Yes, the bearer is from me.
Please.
We want to award contract, the bearer is from me.
The bearer is from me.
Please, see what you can do. And so for the honorables, what they do, once you get this slot, yes, this bearer is from me. And once you see the bearer is from me, it means, this honorable slot. And then the issue of merit takes the second seat. What now happened is, he didn't meet the qualification. I said, just manage. You can cope because anytime I go back to my constituency, they are all on my neck. Just manage. And that's why you will have a teacher, employed teacher, who is unable to pass primary 2 exam. And then you now begin to wonder, how did this teacher get into the public service? It is true, the bearer is from me. He will cope, manage him. And so when you do that, what you are, like I always say, what you are telling people, that's why our educational standard is falling. Because we started with lists, VC's lists, registrar's list, DVC's list, dean's list. Before you know, you find out that half of the class is occupied by the bearer is from me, so and so list. The remaining half, who came on merit, will have to struggle. And then these same people also will graduate, will have another hurdle to contend with. That hurdle of, Senate, looking for senators or looking for House of Assembly members who will give them job. I think the best thing should be, let this representative hands off these employments, because otherwise their office very soon it will be safe for them, because everybody wants to come look for senators, House of Assembly members, honorable members, because they are job seekers. The National Assembly will become an employment agency rather than concentrating on the process of making laws to ease, the job creation in Nigeria. They will take over the process of even feeding jobs in agencies. And it won't all go well for all of that.
I don't know. The part of it that I didn't quite get was it's reported, but the allegation reported that these slots are sometimes sold at up to 1.5 million,
Yes.
1 million.
Yes.
I didn't understand that. Sold to who? To
job seekers.
To job seekers.
Yes,
the guy
to
doesn't have a
senator,
job.
no.
Okay.
The ones that get to the senators or to the National Assembly members
Yes.
are even, those ones are like a slot given to them, and they can share within their constituency.
But
the one
they
that
would not have to
they
pay.
are selling
Yes.
are those who are seeking job, who they are published somehow that we are going to employ people. Now they said, okay, now they give senators 10 and we are making noise.
The army,
they have 90.
The army, for instance.
Listen, they have 90.
Okay.
They give 10 to the senators or the House of Rep members. They have 90. The remaining 90, they are selling it. And that's one of the issues. The system has collapsed. And that is why I am challenging the National Assembly, both at the House of Rep and the Senate, to quickly, I know the Senate has started something now.
Yes.
Let the House of Rep also set up a panel or a committee that will go and investigate. It is not those ones that they get to the hand of the senators or the ones that get to the hand of the people are selling job slots at the federal level.
Do you think that kind of thing is going on in state houses of assembly as well?
That they are selling
this same phenomenon that we're talking about at the national level.
No, there are two phenomena here.
Okay.
There is one that says, okay, slots should be given to the state house of assembly. Yes, we got slots.
Okay.
Yes,
that you are able to then,
But we have criteria.
Deploy as you see fit.
Yes, we have criteria.
You said it. That
qualified people.
You must still,
just like he said, even in the universities, they give slot for deans of so place, faculty of dean of one faculty, the VC list, the so list. These have been on. We can't deny it.
The problem I'm having, sir, is that it seems to me you're sounding as if there's nothing actually wrong in this whole affair.
Let me say this. There's nothing wrong in it, in giving slots to those, because at the end of the day, I just gave you an instance where even now Lagos State want to employ some people now. At the end of the day, go and find out how many of those they are going to employ will go to Ekpe, go to Badagry. Even when they are posted there, they will still go and seek for how they are going to be transferred back to Lagos.
This thing is easy. It is very easy.
How do you mean?
There is, take Lagos for example. Ekpe is a local government. You want to employ teachers in Ekpe. Yeah. You you want 40 teachers from Ekpe. Your criteria, you must be residents in Ekpe. At least you would have been residents in Ekpe for 5 years. And you must have this, that, and that. And so you have a portal. People apply. So for Ekpe, you look at those people, even when banks are employing you, you're cutting out the honorable member or the senator or the rep.
If that is the process, I accept that process.
Apply
online.
If
you would accept that process.
I will accept that process.
So there will be a portal.
If that process
every indigent, for example, would apply.
If that process is being taken care of nationally, even at the federal level,
you would support
if you have said that, okay, 10 slots is for Lagos, whosoever qualified from Lagos, let them have it. Rather than saying that we will not even know, they just say they want to employ. Even that is when they tell us that they are employing. There's a lot of employment going
in
on.
some cases,
In those agencies,
they would have interviewed, they would have finished interview, they would have shortlisted before they publish, because the law requires that they must publish these opportunities.
Especially in some agencies of government.
Yes, in almost all the agencies,
In fact,
you must publish, you must do a publication. It's the rule, you must do a publication, give the opportunity open, but they would have, these slots would have been shared, and then the people interviewed and shortlisted. Then to fulfill all righteousness, they will now do a publication. And then you will come for interview, they'll tell you will hear from us. After all, you came for interview anyway. You will hear from us. That man goes home. 2 years down the line, he says, I wrote CBN exam, or I wrote Minister of Justice exam. But they said they will get back to me. They are still not gotten back to me. Now, somebody says, are you not a Nigerian? Go and look for a senator, look for honorable member, look for House of Assembly member. Then you now come. Well, Uncle
Or
Yori,
anybody else.
Uncle Yori,
else.
please, do you know any senator? Do you know any, in spite of the fact that you made a 2-1, because your name does not ring a bell. Oh, so what we're saying is, let's it be equitable.
We have to put this in context. This is not the norm for the bulk of employment going on in the country. We're saying that, well, whoever thinks of it like that, and Honorable Lillard is not one of them, that is a nefarious practice, and so it can't be more than maybe 10, maybe 15% of all employment.
It's worse than that.
It's worse than that.
It's worse than that. It's far. If you remember, not too long ago, last year or so, there was an allegation that people were employed in CBN, and the names you find in those employment were the names of only rich people. That in fact, a lot of people didn't even know when the employment was done, and the next thing they saw was that people had been employed. And that's why there are some of these agencies. Take NIMASA, for example, or take customs, for example. You never hear when they're employing. The only time you hear, oh, there's a porter, and then before you know, it's closed, and people are employed. Look at what happened with the Nigerian Immigration Service. You saw the numbers. Even people died.
They tried to do it straightforward.
Even though it was, that's what I'm telling you, that straightforward you see is a facade. It's to fulfill all righteousness. So what I am saying here is that government should look at the flip side. That's why there is breach of trust now. Everything you do, people view it with suspicion. And so if we are transparent, nobody will suspect that, look, when you say we want to employ people or that you're nominating appointment. Look at recently, when Shehu Onigbinde was nominated by the Minister for State for Finance and Budget, you saw the cry. People genuinely raised concerns that, look, we worked for this party, and so you can't bring somebody from outside. Nobody was talking about, is it on merit or not? So these are the issues. That was why also I raised the issue of the NDDC board. Oh, was Okumagba appointed on merit or not? Is he qualified for the job? Nobody's talking about that, even though he is ably qualified. And so you look at Shehu, did he campaign for the job? Did he campaign for this government? Is he qualified? Nobody's talking about that. Look at the special advisor that the Senate, a special advisor on media that the Senate president did appoint. It was the same thing. But if we had taken away all of this nepotism, sentiment, nobody would have been bothered. It would have been, you graduate, you're qualified, and then you went for an interview and you got the job. I remember as a young school leaver, I applied to work in Chevron. I went to write the exam, and at in the hall, they told us point blank, don't bother looking for any MD or ED in Chevron, because it's an agency that is even conducting the interview. So the agency will do whatever they need to do, and they shortlist the best. They shortlist the best.
That's the way.
And then they forward this best
to management.
To management. That this is, from what we have done, this is the people we think are fit for the description you gave to us. But in
government agencies, they can't go that way.
It's a different ball game.
They don't, not that they can't, they don't go that way, usually.
While I'll agree, it is good to let there be evenly spread, let the job be evenly spread. But it should be on merit because we have brains in every section of this country. up,
Okay.
north, east, west, and south,
that
you
is
have
why-
good people.
Is it not? Is this
And that
not
is
too
why
close?
I keep
Is this
saying
not
that
close?
it's on merit.
Well,
even when
I'm going
slots
to
are
come back
being
and
appointed.
let's look at whether there are corruption aspects to this. Because if we're fighting against corruption, this matter of zero tolerance.
Nepotism is corruption.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation in studio. And of course, if you call us too, we'd like to hear from you as well. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Libros Oshoma. I almost said Honorable Libros Oshoma, but let me just leave it as Mr. Libros Oshoma.
Exactly. He's welcome.
And Honorable Shegun Olulade. I would have thought that this is a matter. Yeah, maybe it's because of the holiday. It's not a matter that one can comfortably smile about, because the corruption aspect that I signposted before we went on break. Here we are fighting since the PMB administration came on board. Even before, they've been speaking about corruption and how it was not going to be business as usual. Some people are enjoying themselves too much over there, and they're laughing in the studio. And so I was just wondering that isn't this corruption as well? This is probably a practice that has been going on. Yeah, we know. The bearer is from me. Yes. So, but I thought those were the kind of things that we wouldn't have being used any old how anymore. But they're even almost like making it official, semi-official.
It's official now.
So where is this whole business of merit, and how sincere are we really? And in terms of casting our search beam on what's going on, I don't know how far that beam really sees, because apparently people are not seeing up to this and they don't consider this as corruption. Or how do you see it, Honorable?
Honestly speaking, it's corruption.
It is an aspect.
Yes, it's an aspect of corruption. And we must be clear about that. And it all began from the civil service because of the way things are being done over the years. Our institutions are not well straightened. And that's the cause of all this problem we are facing now. If, for instance, I don't need to know who is being employed in my constituency, for goodness sake.
If he's qualified.
I know that it's only qualified people, and nobody is going to come to me to say, why am I not being employed? Because you are representing us. Mm-hmm. If you are qualified, if you can write the exam and you within my area and you are able to qualify, if we are employing 10 people from Ekpe, for instance, and the 10 from Ekpe got the slot, irrespective of which family, I'm less concerned about it. But my own grouse is the fact that they will not even give one slot to Ekpe. That is my own grouse. And that is why we have to now take this position to say, okay, give us our own slot from my constituency, so that the people from my constituency can also benefit from it.
So there is the quota system.
The quota system
it exists.
Is
First of all, there's the federal
but they are not making use of it. Let them go and publish all the employment they have done in the last 10 years.
The public service.
In the public service. And see how many and which states got what number, and which state get another number. So you will discover that a lot of our people are being shortchanged because people do not even know when these employments are going on, and they just employ those who are within their own area to take the slot that belongs to other areas. So when they now start talking about representative, if I know that it is my representative that will bring the slot for us, we will all go and storm his house, and he can now decide how we are going to get it.
And there's this secrecy involved. People don't know. So the point was made earlier that sometimes when these offers go out or these notices go out,
even when they
the public doesn't know.
10, they are employing 20.
Yes.
They will give 2 to the honorable member. That is the 2 that you are seeing here. Let them go and do investigation about this matter. You will discover that the 26 or whatever figure they are getting is nothing to write home about when we compare with what they are employing.
Mr. Emmanuel in Benue State, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Fury.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Good morning, the Honorable in the House.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Libros Oshoma.
I greet you, sir. Morning, sir.
You are the hard hitter.
Thank you, sir.
I agree.
I greet you, sir.
Chief Yuri, I am surprised that it is surprising to you people that this thing has been going on. It is as old as history. Since 1999, they instituted this, the bearer is from me, and it has developed a very strong taproot. So the only way to stop this practice is to get the best of materials into the political arena.
That's true.
Okay.
You shouldn't allow these political scavengers to continue to go in. Apologies to Professor Samuel. Let's go, let's sort out political thinkers like Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the others, so that they can put our politics right. And then the right things will start happening. If not, we'll continue to dance around in circles. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. You see, we're going back into the arena of our orientation. The grammars like that, we use them here. What is our mindset? What is our orientation? What is our national orientation? Is it fairness? Is it justice? Is it equity? Is it merit?
Ordinarily, our national orientation should be,
All
but
those things.
presently where it is. That's why some people will even ask you, what's our national orientation? We don't have any. It is, like Honorable has said, you are cheating me. You're talking about equity. No, let me join you so we can both be talking about equity.
So if you can't beat them, join them.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's unfortunately. But no matter how far you travel on the path of, deceits, truth will always catch up someday. And we've been traveling so long on the path of, on a crooked path. And it is high time we begin to make our way straight. Because if we do not make it straight,
wait a minute. Sorry for jumping in and interrupting you. Around the globe, the old boy network exists.
Yes.
Is what we are saying here is different from the old boy network?
Yes, it's very different.
Okay, very different.
The old boy
I just
network,
wanted to.
old boy network really,
because that exists all over the world.
It starts first and foremost from when you talk about empowerment. It shouldn't just be about giving handouts to those who are not qualified. Old Boys Network, yes, we went to school together.
Yes.
There is an opportunity.
We were both in Ahmadu Bello together. We were both in Zuka together or something like that.
Most qualified.
Okay.
So I want to bring my first 11. You bring your first 11. Let's compete. Why I cheer my first 11 up, you cheer your first 11 up, let the best wins. But here, that was what even killed our league. Our local, yes. It is so bad.
Our soccer league.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying that if the way we are going, you remember Oshomole came and said, oh, teachers must write a test. He was started by Fire Me, Governor Kayode Fire Me. That even cost him his election. Teachers, you must write a test. Let's even know those that are qualified. Because we're traveling on a crooked path.
I remember Oshomole when he was governor,
came,
interviewing a teacher.
Yes.
And the teacher, it was unbelievable. Chidi in Kaduna, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Honorable Oshoma.
Addressing in borrowed robes.
I am delighted listening to you this morning over this very program.
My pleasure.
Yeah, in fact, the truth remains that as far as Nigerian civil service system is concerned, nepotism and favoritism has become the order of the day. And I have no apologies to that. Therefore, I encourage you people to go ahead and be talking it so that the authorities and those who are in the position to do something reasonable should rise up or should wake up from their sleep and do the needful in order to salvage the Nigerian civil service system. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Chidi, for calling in.
So sorry, let me quickly round up on this.
Because I jumped in and interrupted you.
From Fire Me to Oshomole to the Kaduna State Governor, Rufai. And when we do all of this, we also, like you talk about the old boys, we also need to look at the foundation, our educational foundation, so that when we are talking about merit also, we'll prepare people from the grassroots to be meritorious so they can compete, because the world is becoming a global village.
Yeah.
You don't just want to breed local champion. You employ local champion in your civil service. By the time they go abroad for trainings and seminars, they would not be seen as it becomes ridiculous when people look at your civil service and say, are these the best that should come out of the most populous black nation on earth? And so that's why, for me, we need to take it from the education also.
The problem is that one thing is going to lead on to the other if we're not careful. If merit is compromised and people are brought in, and it means that you can't go through the rigors, perhaps, of a university system, then other tactics are deployed.
Yes.
In order to see yourself through. You see how something that was bad is getting worse. But let me not keep Mazi Okorafor waiting. Let's hear from him. Good morning, Mazi Okorafor.
Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, Baris Salidwan and the Honorable. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
sir.
Honestly, Sayori, let us face reality. This issue of state of origin, indigenous, and the catchment area is the problem we are having in this country.
That's it.
Now, you ask yourself, by the time you walk into the office, ask which origin do you belong to? Now, let for me, all those state of origin, I'll cancel all those because it's not necessary. You are going to look for admission in the university, they will take, or polytechnic or college, name any higher institution. They need a certificate from your local government chairman or their chief now, that's not necessary. And that is why we have all this garbage in garbage. Now, you ask yourself, Mr. A or Madam A have reached retirement age. Madam A or Mr. A here that is promotion, he will go to work to nearby court. And just any court, even this exact anywhere, collect age declaration. Now, the age declaration, this is somebody that is a grandfather and grandmother. Now, how would you expect the graduate who is coming out to get a work? Grandmother said that if to climb a staircase is just holding all those rails. And the people are seeing this, nobody talks. By the time they tell you, go and wait for your turn. Wait for your turn, which is it when you enter the grave that you wait for your turn? Now you come to a place now, look at federal establishments we have in Nigeria. Where the federal establishment is cited, the DG is coming from any further south or east or anywhere. There. The DG will go to his village, recruit all recruitable and take to the office. They will just dump them, collecting salary. The rightful people that are supposed to get nobody will keep them. Now look at this show of university we are talking about. Do you know that the major problem Nigeria is having right now in our university is this issue of indigenous and catchment area, disadvantaged areas. And it's creating a lot of problem in Nigeria. Now you ask yourself, a Nigerian will do well in secondary school, he or she, right software and SAT will go abroad, will be shining. But when you come there, people that are qualified to get admission will not be offered admission. Now, we want to beat up South Africa. We want to beat up America in terms of grading. It's not possible. Not that we don't have the men and women that can do that. They have them. But they are not given the opportunity. GC, they just play politics, come there. Registrar, the same thing. Chief librarian, the same thing. Now, competence, you want us to move. It's not possible. Now, this is serious. We have to be very, very careful in terms of educational areas, in terms of employment, because by the time we do all this politics in, politics out, in terms of we are bringing ourselves backwards. Now, we said that Nigeria should diversify. Yes, the agri sector, who are the experts? Are they given the opportunity? We are still in that. Very soon, oil will go. When oil goes, I don't know. You have seen what is happening now in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia have now moved into tourism. And that and Aramco stock business. Why are they doing that? Before, Saudi Arabia was very, very stingy in terms of the dressing code. They have removed all those things because they have seen that in future, oil will be relevant because electric car will come into motion. So oil will no longer useful. In Nigeria, what do they? By the time oil goes on, that issue of restructuring, everybody will go to its own state of origin and face because oil gone, bye-bye. Everybody go and tap your own natural resource. Please, we have to think positively if we want to move forward. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafa. That was a particularly long one, but
somebody asked me,
we're on holidays.
How is it that Mazi always able to call in?
Is it Mazi? Wait if Yakub, unless
Yes,
Yakub traveled. Unless
Yeah,
Yakub
he said
traveled.
Mazi, Yakub. Is it that the studio calls them? Or I said no. They have, even me, to get the studio is always very difficult. The lines are buzzing.
I don't know what
But
the
maybe
technique
we
is.
need to learn
Mr.
from
George is
them.
another,
Yes.
is another troika. That makes out.
Now,
you see,
but sorry,
what
please,
is said
I-
now,
we've not heard from the honourable.
yes.
what is said now is very, very important. If we must move forward as a country, we must remove federal character. If what we are talking about merit is anything to go by, let's all first of all start by abolishing the law that states about federal character. When we do that,
Wait.
when we do that, and we do not
Are you
include
sure
state
about
of
that?
origin,
Are you
sincerely
sure
speaking,
are you sure about not really
I
liking
don't subscribe completely
the
to
effort
that,
to make sure that things are
equity.
spread evenly,
then
so that
if
the
things
best
must-
from here
if things must spread equally,
equitably.
and, now you were talking about university.
Yes.
If you want to go into university today,
Yes.
if you score 300 and somebody score 180 from another state, that fellow that score 180 will enter the federal university before you do.
Well, it
just
happens.
because
It happens.
just because he's from that particular state.
Okay.
Now you are now talking about
Disadvantage.
employment, but you don't want it to happen that way.
No. What I'm saying.
Let me come back to you, because I'm going to
Honorable,
come back to you straight, because I'm Joshua from Irewale. Mr. Joshua, good morning, sir.
Good morning and happy holidays.
Indeed, happy holidays. Thank you for calling in.
I greet your guest.
Yes, that's another one that they can ask. How does he do it?
Yes.
How does he get
They
in
have
every
5
day?
phones. They have 5. And they died in number at once.
Okay, Obiori, I will beg you to break your protocol. What you are discussing is actually the national culture. Let us agree that our national culture is corruption and not argue around it.
No,
I'm just looking at...
No, you knew. No wonder you said you wanted to break protocol. How can anybody, any Nigerian, sit down and accept that his national, what is it?
I agree with you.
What do you agree?
Obiori,
Okay, Libros agrees with you. Please continue.
Obiori,
Please continue, sir.
Obiori, I'm above 50. I stayed 2 years in the civil service at Ilorin, and I ran away because we were busy keeping files under tables and all that. Let me not go there. You know, whatever is called civil service in Nigeria, is a reflection of our culture.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are selling jobs, these things are very, very serious matters, Uncle Yori. But my concern is this, why I said I want to break your protocol. We were discussing something the other time, your guest, that the head of government, takes bribe to award contracts. And somebody is saying, okay, maybe the way the person said it is not good. But please, go back and talk about that matter. When the head is rotting, the body will go bad. When the president of the country can collect bribe, everybody will collect bribe because they know. So this thing, we need to talk to it where it is so that we can solve our problem and stop being political.
Wait
right?
now, wait. Are
Yes,
you
sir.
talking hypothetically? Because I mean, because we don't have that situation on our hands.
Uncle Yori, we have the situation on our hands. Julius Berger, if it is wrong, then let people correct it. Let those in government correct it. We were told that every president is settled by Julius Berger by building mansions for them when they leave government.
Okay.
That's what we know.
Wait, sir. You use the word no. You use the word no. These are rumors that everybody has heard. It's different from that's what we know.
When
nobody
somebody is living in a Niger rock, when another person has Abeokuta rock, National Library, and they say it is this contractor that builds for our former heads of state. Let us go back to where this matter is. It's not your station. Me, I'm the one talking. Let them come and arrest me. If the former heads of states are not taking bribes to award contract, let them start telling us.
Okay.
We need to get the right people into government so that we can have a national spread about giving jobs to people. We are a nation. We are not an ethnic tribe of Igbo, Yoruba, or whatever.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. He is referring to Garba Shehu speaking, and inter alia, he had said at the time that, look, unlike former leaders, this president is not interested in what's in it for me. In other words, AKA, gratification. Yeah. But and he's right. We discussed that subject here, and we're wondering, wait a minute, where's the evidence for that kind of stuff? What he has said that he has his own evidence.
If that statement is coming from the presidency,
yes,
one would have expected that the presidency would, take it further to say, look, there are allegations and we need to investigate. What I have here is this esprit de chop. There is a class of, what do you call it, an old boys class of former presidents, no matter the offenses.
You come back to the old boy network.
Yes, the old boy network of former presidents.
It might be Oxford, it might be Cambridge, it might be Nsukka, it might be Ahmadu Bello, it might be
still old boys. It might be ex-presidents, it's still old
and
boys.
And it might be...
They meet at Council of States.
Yes,
and so nobody, no matter what you have done, Lord, just let's forget about it and move on from. So when you continue like that, Nigerians are watching.
But we can't talk, we can't speak here. So somebody said with, respects or apologies to Professor Tunde Samuel. That's because the man said, look, that which I don't have proof for, I'm going to be very reticent about. And so these things, we hear these things in the buses. We hear them at pepper soup joints.
And
but
now,
nobody has the evidence.
Apart from hearing them at pepper soup joints, even the special advisor to the president is not only saying it at pepper soup joint, but on an international platform.
Yeah.
Does that still make it a rumor?
Mr. George, good morning, and thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Uncle Yari.
Good morning, sir.
And greetings to all in the studio there.
Sure.
Yeah, greetings,
Uncle
Mr.
Yari,
George.
You know that I've always said on this your program that the president appears to be the only one fighting corruption.
Yeah, that's true.
I have not seen any of his ministers doing the same, except when Kemi Adeosun was at the Ministry of Finance, and you saw what the staff did to her. They chased her out with cutlasses. You see, what we are discussing today is not new. If you go to the National Assembly, because of the kind of job I do, I used to go there and I see what they do. You can't speak it out, Uncle Yori. What I expected, if we had a Minister of Labor who is interested in the welfare of Nigerians, what we are discussing now is what that minister will ensure does not happen at MDAs.
Okay.
I expect that we have Festus now in that ministry. Please, Uncle Yori, I'm begging you, find a way to reach out to him and bring him to that seat. Let us talk to him.
Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN.
He will come.
Hello?
I think
I mean, what kind of timing is that? But then you got everything in. Thank you very much, Mr. George. And also, we see Mr. Keyamo is our friend.
Yes, definitely. He would come. He's always been here, and I know he would. If an invitation is extended to him, I know he will come. But like I was saying, you find out that federal character. Nigeria is a very complex country. You can't completely rule out that federal structure that gives you a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
I also do. I agree
there are
we should.
Disadvantaged areas.
Yes, there are disadvantaged areas.
For lack of a better word.
That does not mean that the governors from those disadvantaged areas should just fold their hands and wait.
Of course not.
And wait for largesse from the federal structure. The federal largesse should be to cushion or to complement the efforts of the governor. But what we have now is that you find a situation where the federal carries the burden of these states, and then the governor just complements the effort of the federal to the disadvantage of others. And that's why people are saying, look, let it go so that we'll play on a level we'll have a level playing field. But there is no way, even in America, you're going to have level playing fields where you have some areas that are disadvantaged. They need encouragement. We should encourage them, but not to the detriment of those people who are working hard.
Which could easily happen in this scandal that started this conversation.
Yes.
That National Assembly somehow are managing to warehouse jobs, and then these jobs are sold on for up to 1 million, 1.5 million.
No, they are not the one warehousing. I think that's where the mistake is coming from.
Okay.
It's not the National Assembly members that are warehousing
to
sell.
But
it is the civil servants that are selling those slots.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Once the bearer is from me has been established, then you sort
rest
yourself out.
Then they sell the rest.
They sell the rest.
I see.
So once they give you 10 out of 100 and they have 90 to sell, they have more to themselves.
And so what that means is they have both eaten.
And that is why some of us are also agitating that it is better for us to give those slots to different constituencies, and whatever method we're going to make use of, let us make use of, but ensure that all the constituencies are well taken care of when you are employing any.
Mr. Abdul Salam in Kaduna, let me squeeze in this last caller. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, I want to urge you people on this employment into the civil service. Whatever you say, let's define what is corruption, because we have not defined what is corruption in Nigeria. We need to know what corruption is, because of this idea of recruitment, you see people, at what point do people enter the civil service? Is it at level 8, or is it that when they go and spend 5 years somewhere and come back and enter at the final level and become directors immediately? These are all the issues. There are so many things that are wrong with the recruitment into the civil service, whether at the state or at the federal level. So all these things need to be addressed.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Danjuma, for adding that last bit. I've run out of time, but maybe if you had
for me,
15 seconds, maybe?
Yes,
just
yes.
to wrap it up.
Government, like I had said it before,
yeah,
government should try as much as they can to be transparent in all that they do, so that people will view every little appointment with suspicion.
I think that's the only thing I can say.
I think for me, the Right Honorable Gbadabe Amina should constitute a committee of the House that should investigate what is going on about the recruitment system.
In this House of Representatives?
No.
At least the Senate, we are seeing there.
Yes, now. We are seeing. No, the House of Representatives must constitute a committee that will see to it in all agencies of, even if that is what that committee will do for the entire year or the entire tenure, I think we will get somewhere.
Well, this is a topic that it's not going to go away. Everybody is saying that. Well, I hope you guys are not surprised. It's been going on for ages.
It's been going on for years now.
I don't know whether this is how we're going to just sit down and be looking, but it is what it is. Thank you very much, Mr. Libros Oshama. And thank you very much, Honorable Shegun Olulade.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. And you guys have a great holiday rest of the day. You know. So that's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.